I just needed to do this really quick because Father's Day happened and I kind of didn't realize it. I did go to church and they did a whole Father's Day celebration, but for some reason it just didn't hit me. So happy Father's Day to everyone. Well, to all the fathers. Um, whether you see your kids or not, whether you're old or divorced or, whatever it is, just you were a father or you are still a father. Um, but that got me thinking because I actually had to go back to my father and start taking care of him again. And funny enough, and I tend to relate things to wrestling, but funny enough, um, WWE bought the Mexican promotion AAA, and their champion was Alberto Del Rio, who, if you don't know, had multiple domestic violence accusations, and I think he actually did get arrested at once for that. Um, how does this tie together? Great question. It's authenticity. All right. I go back to take care of my dad. And even though I don't have the best relationship with him, it turns out that, his nursing aide likes him, has a good relationship with him. His neighbor has a good relationship with him. He even had a girlfriend. That's a little hit or miss. But there was enough to have a decent, basic, good relationship there. And he still has a good relationship with his brother, my uncle, who my uncle gave me all the paperwork and everything, and I'm sorting that out. So when I went back to see my dad, you know, I I don't hate him, and I do still have some anger towards him or I resent him a little bit, but I can appreciate what he did. He did his best. And I remember telling my kids, "Oh, I'm not asking you to take care of me when I get older. I would appreciate it if you did." But I always used to tell my kids, and I still do, don't feel like you need to take care of me. I'm going to try to work so I don't need to be taken care of. And I feel like that's how people should live their lives. Yes, you need to depend on others, but you should have that sense of I'm going to do things so I don't, have to always ask for help. I can ask for help, but I don't always have to need it or want it. So my relationship with my dad is not the best, but I can acknowledge what he's done for me, what he did for my mom, even if he did more bad things than he did good. And that got me thinking. Just because someone is bad to you or rude to you doesn't mean that they're mean or rude or disrespectful to everybody else. People have their good and their bad relationships, and people naturally are inclined or to like or not like somebody else. It's just who we are. We're never going to be kumbaya, happy and friendly with everybody. We're not. We just have to do it enough to not kill each other and go to war. So, it's not so much about second chances, it's just about understanding that just because you have a bad relationship with somebody doesn't mean that they can't have a good relationship with a different person. And I'm not saying use that as an excuse to try and have a good relationship with somebody else. right? Let's say somebody wronged you, but they're good with your best friend. I'm not saying use that as an excuse to be good with that person. I'm just saying know where to put that boundary. When I go to take care of my dad, I don't really tell him anything. I just bring him his food, his supplies, I clean up what I need to clean up. And quite frankly, I'm just doing things like scheduling his doctor, getting the rent from the tenant. I'm doing more administrative stuff than actually caring for him. And that's kind of the thing. We go to therapy, we go to talk to people, we talk to our friends, our therapists, our pastors, whatever. We vent, we try to gain empathy, give empathy. And nobody seems to understand that a stressful reaction is a stressful reaction. Just because you can train your body or train your mind to alleviate a stressful reaction does not mean that you need to be in that situation in the first place, right? You can train in the gym to have awesome reflexes. So when someone tries to mug you, you can protect yourself, right? That's what martial arts is. You're protecting yourself in case of danger. But what's the first thing they tell you about martial arts? Don't use it to start fights. Or don't put yourself in that situation. If you're not good with somebody and you can move around them without inconveniencing your life too much, then do it. Because I don't get mad at my dad. I don't yell at him. I don't harass him. I don't take my anger out from his past transgressions. I don't do that to him. I go in and I'm calm and I tell him, here's your food. Let me pick up your mail. Let me check your bills, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if I can avoid going to his house in the first place, I would rather do that. And that's the thing that, because it's my father and I'm sort of in the same situation with my kids, I realize I'd rather avoid a fight with the ex just because it's not worth it. And even if she's using that to, keep me away from the kids, or she thinks that that's what it is, projection, right? That's not really what it is. I tell my boss at work, I say, listen, man, if you don't give me more money, I'm gonna go look for another job. Flat out. It's just transparent. I tell some of the people at work, I said, 6 o'clock hits, I'm gone. That's when my shift ends. I'm not doing anything else anymore. That's how we need to be. We need to just understand that, if my boss lets me go because I say, hey, I'm looking for more money, I can't hold that against him. Just because my boss is nice to me and mean to somebody else doesn't mean he's like that to everybody. My father's the same way. If I get into a fight with the guy down the street, that doesn't mean he's gonna fight somebody else. It just means that I just had a bad exchange with him. It's not so much about second chances. You get a second chance every day. Every day that you wake up, you get a second chance. The difference is you don't have to tell people what the second chance is. You don't have to acknowledge it. If you know that this person doesn't get along with you, you don't bother. Nobody has time for that. Just don't hold the anger against them. And that's one of the things that I've been learning, and that's one of the things that I've learned. Your Boundary is not to control other people. Your boundary is just how you're going to move in your life. And every relationship you form is going to be based around your boundaries. Again, you don't like somebody or somebody don't like you, you don't have to force them and you don't have to win them over. Just don't aggravate them. They don't aggravate you. Don't put yourselves in a situation where you're both going to be antagonizing each other. Because that is what spreading hatred is. Spreading hatred, spreading anger is when you're purposely coming to butt heads, or when you go and you find somebody that you're going to butt heads with and you try to smooth it over. People don't understand turning over a new leaf, turning a new page. It's blank, it's empty. And you have that opportunity, at least in your life, as to what you can control, to dictate where you're going to tell your story, what you're going to write in that page. And that includes your boundaries. So, for anyone with a Father's Day or just in general, right? If your relationship is estranged or it's strained, you can try, but you don't really have to. You can let it be how it is. You just have to find the space and the line that you draw in the sand to not antagonize somebody else and to not have somebody antagonize you. I think that's what people are missing. I'm Caribbean. We talk about toxic family members all the time, right? But people say, oh no, that's your blood or that's your friend. And you're right. But there's also a time to walk away, no matter how close they are to you. Time has been healing my wounds, heals other people's wounds. But that doesn't mean you have the right or someone has the right to put you in a situation you don't want to be in. And we need to remember that. People think empathy is going outwards, but it's also bringing things in. And you can control what you want to bring in and what you want to put out. And it has nothing to do with other people. So, it's been a while since I did one of these videos anyway. But happy late Father's Day. Not that your fathers are dead, I mean like because it's the day after Father's Day. There you go.